Peace. I recall in 2015, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan inviting seekers of justice throughout the world to convene in Washington, D.C. for the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. I was blessed to be in attendance. I didn't get to go to the original Million Man March in 95 as I was a young person and didn't have those kind of men in my life that were were moved by that movement, unfortunately. However, I did get to see clips of it on the television, and and I was inspired by what I saw. But who would know that 20 years later I would get the opportunity to be right there in DC and not only be in attendance, but to be a helper in making it happen. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. But I bring up the point to say that the name of that lecture that he delivered that day was titled Justice or Else. A lot of people were thrown by such a title. However, his explanation of it was exquisite as usual, and you can go to YouTube and or noi.org and you can find that lecture and listen to it as he laid down a way for us, especially black people, but a way for those seekers of justice throughout the world to come together and through 9 ministries serve our own needs. He also called for 10,000 fearless black men and women to go into the communities and stand between our brothers who are killing one another and at odds with one another. There is no greater time to revisit his message than today as we're watching the people respond 5 years later as we come upon the 25th anniversary of the Million Man March. But 5 years later, we're seeing people respond with a justice or else attitude and disposition. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a prophetic voice. He's a voice of God among us and one that we ought to pay close attention to. And there is no coincidences that as this justice or else disposition among black people and the seekers of justice continues, the weather is also ramping up as we pray for our brothers and sisters in Louisiana and in Texas that are experiencing the landfall of this great hurricane that has come through the Gulf. None of this is a coincidence. Please pay attention. I will continue to post so that I can keep you all up to date and abreast as to what's happening, because there has been one among us crying out in the wilderness, "Come out of her, my people. Be not partakers of her sins and her plagues." And judgment, God's judgment has entered America. This is all been told to us over the course of years and years and years of preaching and teaching and serving our community especially. So we have no excuse today when it comes to knowing what the time is and what must be done. Thank you.